Yo, what's up, everyone? This is James and English Reading 100 Days Challenge. Today is day 41, and the same like last time. We are reading Think Fast and Slow by Daniel Kahneman. So this time, I'm gonna start a little bit earlier from the first session with the introduction part. So last time we start with the second chapter, the effort, the attention and effort. So this time I'm gonna start over from the very first. So introduction. So every author, I suppose, has in mind a setting in which readers of his or her work could benefit from having read it. So mine is the proverbial office. So mine is the proverbial office, water cooler, water cooler, where opinions are shared and gossip is exchanged. I hope to enrich the vocabulary that people use when they talk about the judgment and choices of others, the company's new policies, or a colleague's investment decisions. Why be concerned with gossip? Because it is much easier as well as far more enjoyable to identify and label the mistakes of others than to recognize our own. Questioning what we believe and what is difficult at the best of times, and especially difficult when we most need to do it. But we can benefit from the informed opinions of others. So many of us spontaneously anticipate how friends and colleagues will evaluate our choices. The quality and content of these anticipated judgments therefore matters. The expectation of intelligent gossip is a powerful motive for serious self-criticism, more powerful than even more powerful than New Year resolutions to improve one's decision making at work and at home. Honestly, I have no idea of this paragraph is talking about, so let's just read it, and I think I'm going to digest for one time after another. So to be a good diagnostician, a physician needs to acquire a large set of labels for disease, and each of which binds an idea of the illness and its symptoms, possible antecedents and causes, possible developments and consequences, and possible interventions to cure or mitigate the illness. Learning medicine consists in part of learning the language of medicine. A deeper understanding of judgment and choices also require a richer vocabulary than is available in everyday language. The hope for informed gossip is that there are distinctive patterns in the errors people make. So systematic errors are known as biases. Systematic errors are known as biases. Systematic errors are known as biases. Systematic errors are known as biases, and they recur predictably in particular circumstances when the handsome and confident speakers bounce onto the stage. For example, you can anticipate that the audience will judge his comments more favorably than he deserves. The ability of a diagnostic label for this bias and the halo effect. The halo effect makes it easier to anticipate, recognize, and understand. So when you are asked what you are thinking about, you can normally answer, you believe you know what goes on in your mind. You believe you know what goes on in your mind, which often consists of one conscious thought, which often consists of one conscience, which often consists of one conscience thought. Shit. So, which often consists of one conscious thought leading in an orderly way to another. Well, this sentence is pretty hard to read. Which often consists of one conscious thought leading in an orderly way to another. Shit, what? Which often consists of one conscious thought leading in an orderly way to another. But that is not the only way the mind works, nor indeed is that the typical way. So most impressions and thoughts arise in your conscious experience without your knowing how they got there. You cannot trace how you came to believe that there is a lamp on the desk in front of you, or how you detected a hint of irritation in your spouse's voice on the telephone, or how you managed to avoid a threat on the road before you became consciously aware of it. The mental work that produces impressions, intuitions, and many decisions goes on in silence in our mind. Much of the discussion in this book is about biases of intuition. However, the focus on arrow does not denigrate. Yes, arrow does not denigrate human intelligence any more than the attention to disease in medical texts denies good health. So most of us are healthy most of the time. So most of us are healthy most of the time, and most of our judgments are actions are appropriate most of the time. So as we navigate our lives, we normally allow ourselves to be guided by impressions and feelings, and the confidence we have in our intuitive beliefs and preferences is usually justified. So, but not always. We are often confident, even when we are wrong. We are often confident even when we're wrong. We are confident even when we're wrong. And an objective observer and an objective observer is more likely to detect our errors than we are. So let me repeat this one more time. So, but not always, we are often confident, even when we are wrong. We are often confident, even when we are wrong. And an objective observer is more likely, and an objective observer is more likely to detect our errors than we are. So, but not always. We are often confident even when we are wrong, and an objective observer is more likely to detect our errors than we are. So this is my aim to water cooler conversations. improve the ability to identify and understand errors of judgment and choice in others and eventually in ourselves by providing a richer and more precise language to discuss them. In at least one case, an accurate diagnosis may suggest an intervention to limit the damage that the bad judgments and choices often cause. And that's it for today. See you next time.